Live after a W.
Sorry, that was my.
Been too many weeks since we could say that. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, you can't even hear them. You can't hear the people. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Give a couple people a chance to get on. Yeah, laying the wood on the Miami Dolphins. All right.
Sorry, I skipped the ad.
Make sure that we get AGH back. He's waiting for us. I can already see that he's there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good.
Eric, James.
Eric, first in.
What up?
What up?
Yeah.
James Rainey. What trades? What trades, Eric?
Thank you so much for coming back. All these L's later for Victory Tuesday, the First Amendment Sports Basement Podcast Studios here in Kensington, Maryland. I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
And I'm so happy to be here because we got a big W. I don't care what the losers thought. That's a good thing.
That's a great thing. He's Tim Strachan.
Hey, man, for the first time in a while, we got winning all over D.C. All over D.C. We have people winning.
We got people winning. The Nats are fighting right now. 7-4. They remain up. Patrick Corbin is struggling in the top of the fifth. Well, go ahead and get that.
Sorry, this is how we do it.
We'll put that fire out.
We always have to make it difficult, and we always come out on top. These Nats have made it difficult all year long, and look what they're doing now.
Well, we anticipate some difficulties in a couple other areas of DC sports, but not this past Sunday. Thanks to Hawks Haven for joining us this evening. The Washington Redskins are 1-something after finally getting a chance at the Miami Dolphins. It wasn't our homecoming because we weren't at home, but it was definitely good scheduling. New head coach
We
Bill
filled
Callahan.
that stadium up.
Yeah, the people showed.
New dedication to Adrian
Hats off to
Peterson.
them.
Continued dedication to Scary Terry.
Oh, he was so good.
Sack.
That old stuff felt like so old, but
I
that
know.
new stuff is so sweet.
Pumping him the ball, getting him 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran excellent patterns. Case was looking for him.
On this team and this offense this year with this record, he's tied for second in the NFL for touchdown receptions. The dude is a beast, and I love that we got him for at least three years and 11 games.
He was
more.
amazing. He was amazing again. There are some bright spots to this team. I thought Adrian Peterson was the beast that we all know he can be. There were some bright spots. Overall, that game was a race for who was worst.
Yeah, and the Miami Dolphins proved, I think, to a lot of people what they're really trying to do. I love kind of the genius behind going for 2 at the end. The Miami Dolphins are committed. Well, no, they have nothing to win.
That too.
They're like dedicated to losing, and they've been obvious about it, and I respect that part of it. Trading away all your best players, and really making a commitment to being bad.
So that's why they called that play?
Well, so if you're going for 2, so if you're in overtime, first of all, you have a much higher chance of winning, in my personal opinion. You put it all in one play.
Oh, I like the idea of going for 2.
Yeah, I like it too.
I'm in on that.
Because I actually thought they really were
You
kind
think
of
they went for 2 knowing they weren't going to make it? And that
I
they
think
were
they
gonna
went
lose?
for 2 knowing that they would be happy to get it or happy not to get it.
Of course.
Listen.
But not happy to play more
That's
football.
why you go for 2.
Hey, when Fitzmagic gets in the huddle and is like, all right, boys, we're going for 2. We're going with
tell you
doo-doo
what.
butt left. Let's take a dump on ourselves.
make it happen.
And break. And that was the worst, shittiest call.
I don't know. There was one
The
other
gimme,
I
the
don't
most
really want to talk
gimmicky.
about,
I mean, dude, seriously, it was almost like, oh, I feel bad that we won.
Even if he had caught it, I think Ryan Anderson was going
Ryan
to
Anderson put himself in a
lay
perfect
him out.
position, and not to mention, you throw that to a running back. I mean, I get it if it's a stud wide receiver in motion, you got to give some room. You can't just press the line and in coverage, you're getting burnt, on some little corner route or something. But come on, dude, like it was almost like, I don't know. I'm so happy we won, but I was like, oh God, Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It was
God's
it was an
sake.
icky feeling even when we won. It was kind of
I know, but we celebrated victory
what did I
Monday.
just watch for the last 3 hours and something.
No, but I love the fact that we won, and you get a guy like Terry McLaurin
We
going
won.
bonkers on the sidelines.
Yep. That's why I had a argument with Andy Poland, not really an argument, but a difference of opinion when him and Carol Maloney both were kind of openly rooting for losses. We've had this conversation before. We don't root for losses.
I think it's embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, and I'll say it to anyone's face. I'm not going to
like
call
it.
someone a loser. I think it's a losing mentality.
Yeah.
And you obviously, honestly, no matter, I know Carol's played a ton of sports in her life. I'm not sure about Andy. I'm just saying, if you've ever been in a locker room and give a damn about one of your brothers, how can you possibly root for someone that you love to freaking lose at checkers against your grandma?
Never.
And then anything else. It's disgusting.
You're going to root against
Disturbing.
Brandon Sheriff?
Losing is never, ever the right thing to do. I don't give a damn about
Terry
anything
McLaurin?
you say to me. It's disturbing to me that anyone could possibly say that out loud.
Would
and be
Jonathan
proud of
Allen
it.
just show up and lose on purpose?
Come on.
Give me
Come
a
on.
break.
Come on.
And
Come on.
I don't think there's any illusions about who the Redskins are and what we're going to be all about, and how the fact that we're going to be picking nice and high in the draft next year. I have zero problem picking in the middle to upper third of the first round, because guess what? I mean, there's should be like 10 players available wherever we pick who will make our team better. And a few wins where Terry McLaurin gets to have a smile on his face and be happy about the performance that he just put in when he just finished putting in some work. I
loved it.
I think it matters.
It mattered to me. It mattered to my son. And when I'm teaching my son what's right and wrong, I like to think that never teaching my son that losing is the right thing to do would be okay. And I'm not the smartest man in town. I'm not the smartest man at this poker table.
I don't know about that.
I'm just telling you. That's easy for me. That's an easy one. And I don't see any other explanation. I don't get it.
So we're going to continue not rooting for losses. You said you had another play call that you weren't too excited about.
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
It wasn't
Okay.
the worst call of the weekend.
Okay, all right. Do we want to talk about anything else that happened on the field? I mean, I loved Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne. I loved
He had a great
Deion
game.
Hamilton.
Montez Sweat came out to play.
Montez
And
Sweat.
he was taking on multiple blockers
Landon
and making
Collins.
plays. Landon Collins was everywhere. that was fun to watch. Landon Collins was everywhere. I enjoyed it.
Dunbar.
Bostic was everywhere. Dunbar's been showing out. But,
Dunbar
hey,
has been showing
dude,
out.
Bostic has been. What a pleasant surprise. I mean, I get it. I know what we're at. I know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Don't at me. Don't hop
We
on
got
my
guys.
case.
We got guys.
I like watching these guys play football because they're wearing a burgundy and gold. And they're my guys, and I'm proud of
They
them.
are our guys.
Yep.
It is. I know AGH is kind of. There's that other side of the whole conversation where it's it's Sunday morning. And you know what you're going to be doing. You're going to be watching the Redskins that afternoon, and you kind of know how it's likely to go. It's been a feeling we've had for a lot of years, obviously over the last 20. And I would just say, enjoy the fact that you get the chance to turn on this group of young players in a season. I don't want to say like the season's not lost, because I don't want to be that guy. I've been that guy before.
We're
Say
two
the season's
games
not
out of
lost.
first place, Ken.
We are 2 games out of first place, and I just wanted
How
to
about that?
have the chance to embrace the possibility that mediocrity is starting to rule supreme in the NFL in a way that is kind of weird and slightly depressing, if we're being honest. Red Zone's not as exciting as it has been the last couple seasons. You turn on a game between. I expect the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan game to be must-see TV for years to come. The fun was kind of taken out of that game. I know.
Mean Boys.
Mean
Boys.
Boys.
Written by Ken Marangola.
Mean Boys. That's great.
I want to love that game, and it was not lovable.
Why have you two never responded? I've written.
This is going to be the Stan, Eminem version of Stan, about me and Sean McVay and Kyle Shannon. But I will tell you who's who.
My team's gone cold. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. But I think Kyle Shanahan's going to be the one in the trunk. But let's talk about for just a
I wish
moment.
my wheelchair moved laterally right now to the right, just a little bit.
Turn on the hovercraft.
Hopefully those khakis stay still for a while.
The NFL has gotten extremely unfun, and the Redskins are a perfect team in this landscape. They got to bite somebody in the ankles. And the Jets are the perfect team for them to do that against. The 49ers.
The Jets just beat the Cowboys.
I know. But I like the Jets are coming up. I think the Jets are one of our better chances to be competitive. The 49ers, the thing about the 49ers, if they don't run for 1,700 yards against us in this game, I think we have a chance. Because the 49ers do not expect to lose one single down to the Washington Redskins on Sunday.
You think Kyle's fired up at all? Or?
God, I think he wants to. I mean, my question to you guys is how many 49ers fans? I can tell you from my experience, there's a lot of 49ers fans in this area, but I got to believe that this one is going to be unlike we've ever seen 49ers-wise. And I think it's going to be a lot of San Francisco fans. And I think that they're going to come a long way to see their team struggle against a very, very poor to mediocre team in the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Because I think our defense can get some work done. And I do think the 49ers defense is so came into the season very underrated. They have some very good players.
They're loaded, man.
And they're playing at a high level.
And they play an old school physical brand of football.
Is it Buckner?
They're not dancing around.
No.
They're not. It's not smoke and mirrors. This is smack you right in the mouth, and then can you hit me back before I hit you again?
Yep. And Kyle Shanahan.
It's Shanahan football.
He's going to play. He's going to be the guy who goes for it on fourth down. He's going to be the guy who fakes that. He's
It's
going to do
be
everything
another
he can.
weird game. I don't think we have any idea how this thing is really going to come out. I do
Vegas
love
thinks.
the fact that the Skins have guys, Terry McLaurin's, of the world, and the guys we all just mentioned on defense. You just wish, why can't they put it together a little bit better?
Well,
Or why can't they put it together on a more consistent basis? It's frustrating.
We're still losing your best player.
Frustrating.
See.
'Cause you
All
don't
of it- all of it-
you don't want to
listen.
throw the towel in yet as a
no,
fan.
there's no towel.
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying that the players are. I'm talking as fans.
Yeah.
As fans, you don't want to sit here at this point in the season and go, this really truly has just been, as AGH is bringing it up. I think AGH, hopefully that's going to change a little bit, but they're just not giving you anything to really think that it is.
I know, but I think what Ken was trying to get at and then get away from was, don't you feel like Kyle Shanahan is like mid pregame speech gonna like pop a drop tile down and have like pictures of Dan Snyder dressed as George Jetson's boss, like, and nothing on, waist down, and be like,
Mr. Sprockets?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sprockets. I just feel he's always reminded me of him.
Yeah.
Andrew, that's my comp.
All right.
We've had different ones. He's just, just a mean guy that's always telling the nice people that they're not supposed to have any fun and their team stinks and it's all his fault. Like he's Mr. Sprockets to me. But I just feel like Kyle's got something up his sleeve to ruin it for everyone and to add a little kick in the pants on the way out the door. And I don't like that because I don't know if we can compete with what they got to offer. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Because I have huge pride in my burgundy and gold. And you got to sit there and kind of take your lumps as a fan. You got to take our medicine in order to continue being diehards. Because we know right now Bill Callahan's not the answer. He's doing a good job as a Band-Aid guy, and I get it. I mean, but he's doing what you love. He's taking it back to 1947, and we're pounding it and running a little play action.
When you have a team like this, it's a formula that works. You got to execute it. You still have to execute it well and at a high level, which they've proven they can do it.
Yeah.
They need to do it more consistently.
4th and 1, you got to go.
They need to do it more consistently.
Well,
It's a
what's he
formula
got to
that will
lose?
work. It's not like it's archaic and doesn't work anymore.
No.
It's not a very hard game.
I love the formula in certain times and places. I'm just not a full-time guy, but you got to be able to do that to win a championship. I know that, and I agree with that. I just don't know if, these guys doing wind sprints and up downs and like bear crawls. Like, that's going to be cute for a couple weeks. And then what? I mean, it was a good start, and maybe he'll feel it out. He's an old pro, he's an old veteran, and whatever. But I'm just so nervous about Kyle coming in here as the the disgruntled son of a guy that got seriously screwed.
He'll never say it, but he's had this circled.
Yeah, he's not over it.
No.
Nope.
He is not over it. It's like
He'll
Hunter
never say
Strickland pegging Bryce Harper a
No
year
one
and a
will
half
ever
later.
bait him into saying it,
Yeah.
but you're bull crap if you're going to say Kyle Shanahan doesn't think that this is an opportunity
Yeah.
to sort of rub it in Daniel's eye.
It's like you and Ken calling your old Lorraine girlfriends up like last week and crank calling them and hanging up real quick. It's just, you don't forget about that stuff.
Just to make the record clear, I knew no one from Lorraine.
No, I said you and Ken were calling Ken's old Lorraine girlfriend up, and you were,
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to make you a part of the fun.
Okay.
speaking of former coaches, AGH is talking about Mike Tomlin. Any chance he comes? Absolutely zero.
The only way he's coming
no
is
way.
if he is physically being held by two people
Right,
and,
that's what I was gonna say.
and shoved into the front door
Speaking
and
of
say,
Stan,
no. This is what the contract now says. You must stay here, sir.
This is an extremely intelligent man
it's
and
hilarious.
dynamic leader of men
It's
who
hilarious.
understands leadership at the fullest.
That's where we're doomed. I'm
My-
sorry to be down about this, but that's where we're doomed. What man or woman in their right mind
Yeah, but
someone will
will
they'll
want to
get
come
a
here
guy.
and actually do something with it?
money,
with this
money.
piece of
So-
crap
Yeah.
in the front office, both of them.
It's going to happen. My biggest problem, T,
Who wants to
is
come
that
work for two doo-doos?
is that Dan Snyder is now
Two
trolling
big
the
doo-doos.
Washington Redskins fan base by parking his jet in Pittsburgh like a douchebag because he knows that everyone's going to see his, and everyone's going to talk about the fact that he's in Pittsburgh and that he's working on a deal for Mike Tomlin. That story took off like wildfire this week, and
He's like a wannabe Kardashian.
yeah, it's so
He's
bad.
just, he wants to control the social media side.
I mean, if Mike Tomlin got traded here, he'd quit. I think he'd go, you know what? I've made a lot of money. I think I'm good.
I think it's the '80s decal of the helmet
I'm gonna
too on his,
retire.
on
Can
his
you
jet.
imagine
I'm gonna
the
retire.
good fortune for the man who was the 5th round draft choice, who was traded for Mike Tomlin to go to the Skins as the coach, to go to Pittsburgh? Why would you leave one of the best run organizations in professional sports?
Well, like I said, it would be
Why?
he'd be forced to. He would not be a decision by him.
Look, give me Byron Leftwich, old school DC, tough SOB, who studied under Bruce Arians, which I love.
Got no problem with that.
I love. So, and you know what? As an upstart, he might get a few more bucks than he would have maybe somewhere else to come back home and take care of the situation.
Nothing-
But also, it could be an end to his career.
We also
no,
we
now
still
I was
need an
gonna say, nothing
off-season
against
change.
Byron.
Right.
I almost don't want Byron to
Yeah.
take it in order for him to have a career, because I think the next person who comes in here
It's done.
It's a needle in a haystack. It's a person who has experience, who isn't going to put up with the bull crap from the front office, and is going to actually be the adult running shit. Because if we don't get that guy, I don't think anybody can be
Yeah, but
successful here.
maybe
I don't
we'll-
think a rookie coach is a great situation for a rookie coach to be in.
Maybe we just go prison rules with it, and whoever we hire walks into Bruce Allen's office, smashes him in the mouth, and then becomes the guy from that point forward.
They say the Twitter rumor is Trent Williams to the Browns for Njoku, who I believe is on injured reserve,
Yeah.
and a draft pick, which I don't know what that draft pick is. If it's not a first rounder, then this conversation
Well-
stops.
Well, listen,
We
OJ
could
Howard.
use a tight end.
OJ Howard's popped up on my timeline multiple times
Yeah.
today. We need a tight end, and we're looking for a young, talented one
Gotta
on the
have
cheap.
one.
But you know what? I don't necessarily know that we need to take a guy who's a borderline bust. Hey, OJ Howard caught a ball at the Tampa Rays playoff baseball game,
Yeah.
and my Twitter blew up that was the first catch he's made in Tampa Bay in
my
forever. So that's the guy we're going to go out there and drop draft picks for. I'm
Yeah.
not certain if I want that kind of. Well, I'm not letting Twitter run my life, but you know what I'm saying here.
Yeah. I'm also
let's
not-
give up draft picks. Let's accumulate draft picks.
I'm not doing a Trent Williams deal that doesn't involve a first rounder. Anyone else that, that
No,
goes with
not,
it?
not even close.
And Njoku did have wrist surgery because I did see that he was on IR.
Hey, and he's a talented cat, but I
The
mean,
key
really,
is, what Redskins need the most, and the biggest hope that we can have is that they decided to make the coaching change at this point of the season, and that they'll make the front office general manager change in the offseason. That's our hope. That's the only thing we can hope for. Whatever happens between now and week 17 is going to have to feed
did Roy
into that
Orbison sing
narrative.
"Dream"? Because
Yeah.
man, I'm all in. Ken.
That's got to be what happens.
I'm signing up for what you just said, but you know what? I'm not setting myself up for this one.
But as many Redskins fans know, and as we talked about it last week, and I was talking with Carol about, I'm worried that as long as Dan Snyder is part of the formula, I'm worried that there's a lot of people that just aren't coming back, which is sad, but I think it's
that's-
true.
He's part of the stadium deal formula.
I know.
If Shannon
I'm
Pratt
saying,
Kelly would
that's
come
the
up and say,
problem.
"I want you guys back right now," but you can't bring him. It would be a standing ovation.
So, I mean, it
Sorry,
would be
dude.
amazing.
I would-
Don't
It
even
would be
think
awesome.
about it.
I would love for like the players to pull the old varsity blues, like band together in
Whipped
Dan's
cream all
office
over their entire
and actually
body.
shame him so bad that when he goes out the door, he goes the
Shame.
other
about?
way.
Yeah.
and
The cherry sundae.
and just goes away.
Does he know? Does he know? That's our big question. Does he even know?
I-
He doesn't even know.
I asked you that, and I still can't believe that you said it. You don't
Banana
think he
split?
knows.
I
It's
think it has to be a possibility.
Caramel sauce.
That makes no sense.
Because sometimes the smartest guys in the room have no damn common sense. You know, some of our smartest friends are some of our dumbest. Some of our dumbest friends make more money than all of us combined. It just doesn't work the right way that it's supposed to sometimes. But I'm cool with it. I'm happy for everyone doing their thing, just not Dan Snyder. Sorry, got
And I definitely don't want him covered in whipped cream at any point in time. So you brought up the Varsity Blues things. It wasn't me. That was what you did.
Stanley
You
Sprockets.
just took it to a weird place.
You said the Varsity. You wanted the whole team to do the Varsity Blues thing. The
So
Varsity Blues
all
thing.
you think about is the whipped cream
Oh,
scene
yeah.
of Varsity Blues.
Of course.
That's it. You don't.
You
think
say
of any
Varsity
other
Blues.
part
I
of
think.
that game.
What's her face layered in whipped cream? Yes, that's correct.
Don't look me in the eye when you're
Yes.
having this conversation with
Yes.
T. I'm on the outskirts.
It's only one part of Varsity Blues that comes immediately to mind. I can't think of her name right now, but before now and next week, somebody, James knows her name. James, hook me up.
Kristen Bell.
Well, it's not Kristen Bell, but
Right.
no,
That's
you're
who it
thinking
was.
of
Guys.
Frozen,
Guys.
the movie Frozen.
Guys,
No, not.
guys. No, don't even do it. Don't even
All right.
do it. Frozen 2.
Next Tuesday, we're gonna come back after back-to-back wins. We're gonna, if we get this victory on Sunday, I will adjust my signal for a mid-season ascent to complete and total mediocrity, but in a good way, in the way that the league is. Like New Orleans, Jacksonville, 13-6. I mean, you can just go down the list of games this past Sunday, and you're like, ugh. I thought they were good. Pittsburgh, like San Diego. The Chargers. All of a sudden, they suck. I mean, what's up with that? I mean,
Everyone is just morphing into each other at a very slow pace. We're behind the curve on it.
the Lions
So-
got hoarded, by the way. Did anyone
And
else see that?
I know who's behind it.
Yeah, they did.
Belichick's behind the whole thing.
Well, that's probably.
I think it's
true.
Belichick's girl. She's the only one that controls him. She's got him taking pictures on the red carpet. She's got him dressed up. She's got him eating out. She's got him carrying a little dog. Like, she might be the mastermind. Maybe we could get her some help. Maybe she could help us with Dan Snyder.
Maybe we can trade for Bill Belichick. Everybody, come on, let's put that out there. Let's park the Redskins plane at Gillette. All right, Allie Lartner. I think that's right. I don't know if it's Lartner, but I think it's Larder or something along
Allie
those
Larder,
lines, James.
that's what it is.
Yeah. All right, I told you, James.
You're right.
knew.
Allie Lauder.
Next Tuesday night,
Thank you.
After the Whistle, featuring an amazing rendition of Stan sung by Kevin Ricca, featuring Kyle Shanahan as the girlfriend in the trunk, Sean McVay as Eminem.
I wrote the addresses on him perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if the address is on him. Perfect. Until then, he's Tim Strachan.
Yes, it is. Looking forward to hopefully talking about another W. We'll see.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm all skins. Hail to the Redskins. But listen, how about the Summer Sons of Washington taking care of business right now in town? Let's get that little vibe. High tide raises all ships. Let's help out. Let's teach each other about how to win around town.
Real quick.
The Mystics have figured it out. The Nats have figured it out. The Caps have given a little something. Hey, maybe it gets contagious here. And maybe this contagion puts Bruce Allen away for a little while.
I meant to mention this earlier, but along with what you're saying, the Redskins game still had a 14-point something viewer to the Nats game last night was only at 8 in this area. So that goes to show who really still cares about what in this town. But this is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, people were checking out a Halloween scenario on Sunday. That wasn't diehard football fans. That was going to Markoff's out in
I think it's still
in Poolsville
it still
to
says
watch some
something.
dude rev up a
Still
chainsaw to
says
scare the
something
crap out
about
of you.
where
But
this still says something about Redskins fans. Is all I'm saying.
yeah.
Football's football.
No,
there.
they're all not going to Daniel Snyder Stadium, which I
They're
know
all
the
watching
game was
it at
down in
home. All the
Miami.
people
I get
watching.
it, but
Yeah.
we're used to this not going anywhere now and watching it on the old.
Oh, and by the way,
56.
if you're ever going to get a good number out of this area for Redskins game, I mean, this was the game. I mean, even Megan and was like, "Is this the game?" And I was like, "This is the game." She's like, "Okay, everybody, this is the game."
Because we're all about family, Ken. You're
That's
right.
right.
I wanted to say it earlier. I'm
It's
glad
so
you reminded me.
sad.
How we
Yeah.
deal with it is family. I've loved it because of family, and I got to sit around with my family and watch a W with my family, with my wife and my kid, my son and my daughter.
Yep.
That was important. My daughter might not watch another game or not having any idea, but she saw us one time. We were all happy. We cheered.
Yep.
That's
Cheering.
what it's about. And you don't get those options. So this was the game.
This was the game. It was
Watch
the
out,
game.
Jets.
Watch out, Jets. for a little bit of cover your ankles. Just cover your ankles when you come through here. Until next Tuesday night, I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was the Audible. Hit us
Later,
up,
guys.
D-Mac. Appreciate you guys.
CAGH.